Hello, Sound Mind family. Welcome back to season 4. We have missed you, and I'm so glad that you are back with us. I'm excited because we have a powerful season packed for you. I'm excited to be here. You know what the deal is. It's time for you to share. So if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're watching, I need you to tell your girlfriends, your family members, your co-workers, tell them that we are here with Sound Mind, and it's about to go down. This is a segment you don't want to miss. Listen, we are so grateful for everything you've done and your support for Hope TV, but more specifically, Sound Mind. And we just want to say thank you to all those people in the background that make this possible. We are excited and thankful for what you do, and we wouldn't be here without you. So for all the assistant producers, graphic artists, camera people, thank you so much. We appreciate you. So we're here today live, as you can see, and I am so excited because I have my co-host here with me, Miss Teresa Pryor, and we have a special guest to open up season 4. I'm going to go ahead and introduce him. He is a visionary. He is a mogul. He is making things happen. You may know him as the Reverend Dr. E. Dewey Smith Jr., but he is also a producer, and he is the visionary of Hope TV and Sound Mind. So please welcome everybody today. Tell them that he is here, Dr. E. Dewey Smith Jr. Dr. Smith, welcome.
I'm great. What's going on, Moses? Hey, Teresa. How you doing? How's everybody?
We're happy to have you
with us happy to be here. The way you've taken the vision of Sound Mind and helping people is amazing. I'm really moved by it. I really am.
We're just happy to have you with us. We're happy that you even put this platform out there because in this season, sir, this is what we need.
Well, you know, it's amazing. I thought this was gonna be a couple of months.
Yeah.
And we've been having these mental health conversations for a while.
Absolutely.
Because it's such a major gap between faith communities and the health communities, particularly the mental health communities. And I think in a real sense, we have helped contribute to the downward spiral of mental health.
That's good.
In the name of spirituality and faith. So
that's good.
A lot of what we teach, we have helped to perpetuate issues of mental health.
I'm so sorry, sir. I can't let you stop.
Well, it's the truth.
Can you expound on that a little bit for me?
You know, when you even the Bible, and I may get into some trouble here, but even the Bible, when it talks about people who had issues, like the little boy Mark 9, who would throw himself into the fire and would harm himself. They would talk about maybe something connected to the moon. Yeah. So he's demon possessed. And a lot of things that we have demonized, we don't realize everything is not a demon. Yeah. Everything doesn't need the scripture and oil. Yeah. And sometimes I preach, whether it's the man in Mark 5, he's a demon, the demoniac, he's got 3,000 people living in him, and he's, is he demon possessed or is he bipolar? You know what I mean? So, or is he schizophrenic?
Yes.
So a lot of times we have, even in our theology, given theological presuppositions that have helped to perpetuate the demonization of mental health issues, and it's sad.
Yes.
I think our language, and so the lack of sensitivity, and so we're going to spiritualize or demonize. And unfortunately, I believe that a lot of people in the church, we have helped them stay bound and suppressed because we haven't had professionals.
Yes.
And had the courage to have these types of conversations.
Yes.
So I commend you both for what you're doing.
Thank you,
See,
sir.
Teresa, this is why live is important, because we can get those nuggets that's just dropping. I'm happy to see you, to be able to be close to you. And we didn't have Dr. Smith with us in season 3 when Teresa joined us, but season 4, the family is here together, and I'm excited about what we're talking about today.
I've been watching, man. I'm thankful because this was very important. This was one of our first shows with Hope TV.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Sound Mind. So this was the 3rd or 4th show that we did, that we established. very important. So thank you.
Happy to
Thank
be
you.
here, Pastor,
Thank
and
you.
thank you for that
you.
responsibility that you gave to
Yes,
us to keep it
absolutely.
going. And I'm happy to have Teresa with me as a co-host so I can, do good trouble. So, Pastor,
Yes.
listen, the world is opening up. Things are going back to normal. Concerts are happening. Sports games are happening. People are coming together. Churches are even opening. But we can't forget about what we just went through. We have seen death at a level that I've never experienced in my lifetime. And I don't know if you all have either. And so for what Teresa and I, we were talking about in preparation of the show is that as people are going back to normal, how do people who've experienced loss go back to normal? This is the Thursday before Mother's Day. And we've heard your powerful testimony. And since COVID, Teresa and I have both had losses. And so it's fresh for us. Can you walk us through what does normal feel like when things aren't normal?
That's a great question. You said two things. I think one that we shouldn't ride by too quickly, and that is things are opening up. We're getting back to normal, but have we really processed the pain, the PTSD syndrome of the past year? I'm really concerned about that. I mean, I know we want to get back to normal, whatever that normally is, but have we really, whether it be personal death, but have we really thought about how can we get back to normal without fully processing
Yes.
what the past 14 months have meant?
Yes.
Whether you've had death in your
PTSD is
family,
real.
I'm concerned that we want to just jump back into it.
Yes.
But are we really aware of the ramifications and how
Yes.
deep is it? Are we just going to go act like it's normal? We get back and forget about it? How do we process and peel this layer off of how to be healthy after what we just experienced? That's number one. And I'm not confident that we've done it. For in terms of congregations who've lost pastors.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know how many
Yes.
bishops and
Yes.
pastors have passed away
Yes.
and
Yes,
they're trying
sir.
to navigate that by itself?
Yes.
It's a lot.
Yes.
I had 4 cousins that died in October, 4 brothers, all of COVID. And the church just goes on. I mean, that's a lot. And so
It's a lot.
that's one thing by itself. Now to add Mother's Day on top of that, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's important to own what you feel. I don't know if I would have been as sensitive to what's happened had I not gone through what I've gone through. So I'm thinking about people. I'm thinking about, I've been doing some work even with some of our funeral directors. Even they are trying to say, we need some mental health help
Absolutely,
with our funeral
Pastor.
directors. I've been talking to them and doing some training with funeral directors and funeral homes because they're like, we've been
It's an
overwhelmed.
all-time high for them.
And so
all-time
it's
high.
like, how do we keep dealing with death like this is normal?
Yeah.
Because many of them have been in deep depressions and melancholy. So that's the first piece on top. That's the first thing. The second thing is in terms of Mother's Day and your recent issue and with your mother and you with your grandmother, that's heavy. And that first time is not easy. This is my 5th, and it is not easy. But what I've learned to do the last couple of years is to be open about it.
The decisions that you make have to make sense toward the end goal. You have to be okay talking about yourself, selling yourself, being your brand, to expose what the gift is that God has put in you so that other people know about it. I knew that it was something that I wanted to offer to people who were also dreaming or trying to be entrepreneurs and things of that sort, who just didn't know how to get started.
We are talking about pioneer women and women who are blazing the path for all of us.
I started this campaign with a prayer and a plan, and I just worked that plan. God saw fit to predestine me for this position. I'm honored that the community They listened to what I had to say, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be a pioneer.
I don't mind telling you guys, man. Mother's Day sucked.
It does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It does.
I don't mind telling you about it. You know.
Is that safe for us to let people know? Like,
Yeah,
can I say on Mother's Day Sunday, could I get on Facebook and say, watch your language, Brian, you're live. But Mother's Day, I'm not feeling it today.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not feeling it. I don't want to send text messages.
Well, for me, honestly, I don't care. It's not about what's safe for them.
Ooh.
It's really not.
Did you hear that, Teresa?
Yeah. And
I'm just looking
yeah,
at
and
it.
I'm fortunate. And honestly, I know I'm gonna get in trouble, man.
Say it,
I
Pastor.
shouldn't.
This is the space to say it.
I'm glad we're not in public worship this year.
I understand that.
It helps me to cope better with Mother's Day.
That's good.
Not being in public worship.
That's
We're not back
good.
yet.
Understand
The
that
pre-recorded, so I can
Understand that.
deal a little differently. Being around people and in the room right now, this is gonna be last year. But the last time we had public worship Mother's Day, which was 2019, it was terrible.
Yeah.
I gotta motivate everybody else, and get them through it. But I was struggling. That was my third year. This year we're gonna pre-record. So, if I'm struggling, I'm gonna have me some brunch and a mimosa or two
Or
or
three.
three or four or five
Till I don't know
or
mimosa
six,
no more.
yeah, or seven, and
And we don't have to
Because
perform.
the thing about
Yeah,
it is
I'm
that
good.
was one of my favorite times to celebrate. It was one of my best celebrations.
Yeah.
And so this now is getting ready to be a yucky day.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? Like, I enjoyed celebrating my mama.
Right.
And so now it becomes a day of, like, I get anxiety as the days get closer
Yeah.
to Mother's Day.
Now here's what's funny. The last couple of years, my mom, early on, she we do the big thing and the big shebang and all that kind of stuff. But the latter years of her life, she was like, don't take me to dinner with 10 other people and it's $700, $100 for roses. Just give me $1,000 so keep your card.
Right,
So
right.
so in her mind, she saw the big deal.
Right.
Mother's Day was straight a capitalistic enterprise. So she kind of took away some of the sentimentality of it somewhat. Just cut me a check, dude, and call me in peace. If I
Okay.
see you good or not, we're cool. So that, and I thought this woman is really crazy. But it's almost like I see it as a blessing now because, but even, cause maybe the last 5 years, she's give me the money, dude. I'm not coming to church with you. If I feel like it, or she would go to Household Maker. But early on, she liked the pomp and circumstances. So for me, that was like, okay, man, we got to do something good. I got to do something big for my mama. The last couple of years, like, dude, cut me a check, call me, and sing to me, and we're good. Just make sure the check clears. So that helps. But now it's like, man, that helps to some degree, but it's still, I wish I could write the check.
Yeah.
Or I wish I can go see, or I wish I could go. But I chuckle now, so that helps me. And also the reality of what would she want me to be doing? And how do I memorialize her life through acts of service? That's been so
good.
wonderful.
How long did it take you to get there, though? How long did it take? And I know everybody's different,
Yeah.
but I'm not thinking about that at the moment.
Yeah.
I know I'll get there,
Right.
but how long did it take you to get to thinking about those things?
I think she passed in 16. I think 17 is when I was trying to find ways to cope that were healthy. And my therapist at the time recommended, won't you try to do what would she do? So it was a coping mechanism. It's like honor her life, do what she would do that would help you feel better. So that's what it was. It wasn't my ingenious idea. My therapist told me to do it. So I did it. In serving in her name, her honor, even Tabitha's house.
Yes. Yes.
Because she did a lot with young girls. Like, we have a couple ladies and girls in Tabitha's house now that are pregnant. 2 or 12. Well, my mom was pregnant at 13.
Yeah.
So I was in meetings all day yesterday trying to figure out other ways to get money for Tabitha's house because that's what she would do. She'll be the one getting clothes or getting clothes. So that at these times is helpful. It doesn't even take the pain away.
Sure.
It doesn't take the memories away, but it does help you to kind of channel your emotions in another way.
Sure.
That I don't think is negative. I think it's a healthy way to channel those emotions.
Sure.
You know?
I'm glad that you said that, Pastor, because I think for a lot of people, we are so used to performing, and I'm just going to be blunt. I say it on Sound Mind all the time. Social media has messed us up,
That's the truth.
and we are performers now by nature. So there are people that are, and I don't know how to really say this, but they are not in a place of accepting what has happened. Because like you said, PTSD, the trauma of everything that's happened, and just moving past that. And so it's been really good to hear you be a human. Because a lot of times when we see people in this position,
Absolutely.
you don't see the humanity of them. So it's really good to hear. I hope you all are enjoying this. I hope you're loving this. We have to pause really quickly for a quick commercial break, but I promise you we will be right back.
Like you said, a lot of people think that you just wake up and say, oh, this is what I'm going to be and this is what I am, and that everything happens overnight, and that is absolutely untrue. You have a few friends who's in jail right now? Do you have a few friends who's in trouble right now? I said those judges and all of that stuff really, really matters. The Congress and all those people matter. So you have to make sure that you pay attention to those things and the numbers of what you're voting for.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Is real estate really that important when it comes to financial freedom and building wealth?
Yes, more people, especially when they're younger, need to know the value of owning real estate. You know, we need to own something and build equity for ourselves and for, you know, the generations that come after us. So the answer to that question for me is a yes, a solid yes.
Welcome back. We still have Dr. Smith with us. I am so excited to be here. Teresa, where are you at in this conversation? Because I know this is going to be a fresh experience for you as well.
Well, first of all, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for this conversation. And I know that this is helping some people out there, because there are a lot of people. We had 500,000 people to die from COVID. Whew. By itself.
Not car accidents, not
the
heart
other
attacks.
deaths. And so we know that some of those people were mothers.
Indeed.
We know they were. So we know that there are people that are dealing for the first time, including myself, with mothers not being here for Mother's Day. So we just having this platform and having this opportunity to talk about where we are, how we're feeling, what we think, how we should feel, is just needful. So again, thank you for this conversation and giving us this platform and helping us to be real about where we are, even if we don't know where we are.
Well, you know, Teresa, I think with your mother and your grandmother, and that, you know, what those dynamics the past couple of years, the other piece that COVID, an untapped conversation, is not just loss of almost 600,000 people, and those numbers are really skewed because a lot of the states weren't reporting
That's
these
right.
numbers.
That's correct.
But the other piece for me is the reality that some people couldn't have closure. Saying goodbye by Zoom.
Yes.
You know, saying goodbye through FaceTime.
Yes.
One person in the hospital.
Yes.
You know, not being able to have a full funeral with family and the support to go have a repast where everybody comes and hugs.
Yes, that's
you know,
right.
That's a whole nother piece,
That's
I think, of the grieving process that was missed out on.
That is so true, sir. I remember thinking, and when you have a person that you want to celebrate and you can't celebrate, you don't. it just leaves you, like you said, there's no closure there. And you don't know what actually to do with that. And you do the best you can, and you try to think of ways that you can do that later. But still, like you said, there's there's no closure with that. So what do you do with that, though? I mean, there are people, I mean, that's a lot of people, Pastor, that still have that closure that hasn't been, there's closure that has not come. So what do you do with that, though?
You know, for me, you know, as I said earlier, owning my feelings, and I'm good with it. I'm so thankful. I'm a mama's boy. Everybody knew I was raised a mama's boy. I've been a mama's boy all my life. When she was alive, I was a mama's boy. I remember when she died initially, and once I was having conversation, I was just really around the house moping. And my boys were trying to get me up, and Andre were trying to get me up. And I'm like, let me explain something to y'all. You know, if I wanted to, I can get a new wife. And truth be told, you know, because I'm healthy. Yeah, and I said, truth be told, because I'm healthy, I can have more kids. I said, so just please understand that all y'all can be replaced or enhanced or added to. I said,
welcome to Sound Mind, everybody.
Yeah, I was just trying to get.
It's honest. It's honest. Yeah.
I can never.
Never.
No.
As
No.
long as I live,
No.
I won't have
No.
but one mama.
No.
You know.
And one of my friends said to me,
yeah.
you have to understand that that is the person that you have been with the longest in your life.
Absolutely.
And I was like, she said, think about it. That person is the person that you've been connected to the longest in your life.
Well, you know, we talk about like having life partners and seeing our spouses or our significant life partners. They're really not. A life, as you just said, your spouse and maybe your siblings, they're your life partners.
Yeah.
This when you came in, you know, and I'm grateful. You know, my mother-in-law, who is like the closest thing to a birth mother.
Yeah.
That's over 30-something years. I love her, you know, as if she was my own, but she's not my birth mother.
Yeah.
And I think understanding that and realizing that and grieving, and don't keep telling me what she is. I know what she is. You know, don't sorrow. You know, people say don't cry. You know, please get out of my face with that.
Yeah.
You know, my issue is not that I don't know what she is. It's what she ain't.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. That's the issue. She's in a better place. I know she's in a better place.
I'm not.
Right.
Woo.
So me accepting it as a pastor, and now I realize what Andre Nouwen talked about, you know, being a wounded healer.
Yes.
So I kind of have now embraced that all as a part of maybe this is the pain. Maybe it's showing my wounds like Jesus did.
Yes.
And as Thomas can be healed as he showed his wounds.
Yeah.
And so I think now for me, channeling that into a ministry opportunity. Because now I can help somebody else. Because I'm still born to help somebody.
Yeah.
And I feel like, okay, how can I help somebody who's navigating this? I'm more sensitive to pain than I've ever been. So I think if you can find a way to do that as you own it simultaneously, and realize we're really wounded healers.
Wounded healers.
I've never felt I tell people, my heart was broken in a way that I'd never experienced before. And I remember saying to God, if my heart is going to be put back together again, you're going to have to put it back together again.
Yeah.
And I feel him doing it. You know, daily, as the days go by, I know that he's doing it, but he's having to do it his way because this is a break that is, I don't have a word for it. I can't explain it.
Yeah, I think grief is the price that we pay for love. And the other piece for me.
Wait.
Are y'all hearing this today? Can you repeat that one more time for me?
Pastor. Grief is the price that we pay for love. Yeah, and so my sister, it's interesting you said that. My sister, a few weeks after my mom and my sister passed 3 weeks apart. My oldest sister just started having major heart problems, and she was diagnosed with broken heart syndrome.
Yes.
I never heard of that before.
Yes.
Broken heart. That's a medical diagnosis.
It's real.
And I was talking to her one day. I said, you know, my heart has a hole in it, and I've been trying to get that. And I realized that the reason why it has a hole in it because my mom took a piece of it with her.
Yeah.
And that's cool. And it's okay. And now how do I channel who she was, her principles, her life, and do what she taught me to do, how to live. And so it's the price that you're paying for love. And you don't have to be whole. Stop looking to feel like you felt. That's another piece. You'll never feel it again. So you're developing a new normal. Trying to feel normal is impossible because you'll never be normal after that because nothing is normal. So we're trying to find that new normal.
Which is the same, as you're saying that, it's the same thing we're saying with this world. About we're not going to get back to where it was. It's going to be a new normal, even in our world, because our world is grieving, and that's what I'm trying to get to.
Lord have mercy.
Our world is grieving as well.
Absolutely.
Just as I'm grieving my mom, the whole world is grieving. And so just as you said, I'll never get back to it's never going to be what it was.
Yeah. That's you okay over here?
No.
And it's okay.
But I'm thankful.
I mean, think about Jesus leaving his disciples.
Watch yourself, sir. Watch yourself.
I've fed you. I've healed your mother-in-law. I've calmed storms for you. I've protected you. And all of this is in preparation because I'm leaving you. I'm leaving you to go ahead of you to become your ancestor. But I'm not going to leave you comfortless. And you're going to receive power.
Yeah.
You're going to get a comforter.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave now, but you're going to be comforted. And when I leave you, I want you to channel everything I've taught you into ministry.
Yeah.
You're still going to grieve my absence.
Yeah.
But instead of just grieving my absence, I also want you to appreciate and embrace the new presence.
Yeah.
And so for me, that had to be tough.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my Messiah. I forsook everything for him. And now I'm not going to be in his presence any longer. But I still have to continue.
Yeah.
My purpose didn't start with my mom.
Yeah.
That's another thing I realized.
Yeah.
As much as I love this woman, she didn't initiate my purpose.
Yeah.
God allowed me to come through her birth canal
Yeah.
to fulfill my purpose.
But she didn't.
But she didn't initiate my purpose.
Yeah.
So if she didn't initiate my purpose, I can't allow the rest of my life, I can't allow her absence to make me stagnate my purpose.
Yeah.
Let me take a pause. Let me feel what I feel, because grief is real. Those are human emotions. And not try to be over spiritual with my spiritual side and quoting scriptures and she's in a better place. Let me own what I feel. But God gave me a purpose. Before you were formed in the belly, I knew you.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sanctified you.
Sir.
That part she didn't have anything to do with.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to give you all the different strategies that I try to implement to help me to move forward.
To help us have a sound mind.
A sound mind, you know what I mean? And so the fact you're still here, that's a purpose that precedes her.
Absolutely.
Grateful for bringing me into the world,
Absolutely.
but there's a purpose that precedes her.
Listen, Pastor, our time is moving, and I need you to do a few things for me before we leave here today. The first thing I need you to do for me, Pastor, there is someone out there who thinks they're helping their friends. They think they're helping their family members because, I just want to do what your mom used to do for you. I want to kind of help you be that grandmother. Can you talk to that person and just help them learn how to help other people?
Right. That's a great question. I think sometimes people who are zealous and because of love, sometimes people don't know what to say. And it's all, it's like.
Even the preachers.
No.
They don't know.
Listen, man, I was in a hospital when my grandmother was dying. And the preacher came up there, Jordan River, I'm bound to cross. I said, if you don't get up out of here.
No, he didn't sing it.
Yeah, I said, I will go taekwondo on you right here in this hospital. I will hit you in your throat, man. Don't. I'm already emotional, but I will hit your old self right in Stacey Adams' shoe wearing stuff right in your Adam's apple, right in the hospital, in Jesus' name.
Crocodile.
I'm serious. I mean, it's like, dude, just don't know what. Yeah, let's be like Job's friends. Just come and sit 7 days, don't say nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Bring a Bible.
Just come and sit and let me talk and just feed off of me, and just. If I respond, I move, you move. You know what I mean? And because sometimes people want to help you and they try to push you too quickly or they make you more sensitive. So sometimes you learn to say nothing. The best times to say nothing. And even if I say, let's do this, I may not feel the same way. So you got to be, the friends have to be very flexible at this moment.
Yes.
And don't try to force and make. Just listen. Now, if I'm sinking downward in a spiral, have the conversations, the tough conversations, but don't force me beyond where I am. Talk to me if you think I'm sinking in something that's harmful or unhealthy. Be honest with me. But don't try to force me at your pace.
That's right.
I think that's important.
That's good, Pastor. And it's interesting you say that. I laugh with Teresa. So for those that don't know, I work with Teresa on a day-to-day basis at the House of Hope Atlanta, which I'm so privileged to work there. But when Teresa has moments, I have to know who to call, because there are certain people who can get her out of that space. And it's almost like sometimes people want to be that person that someone leans on and depends on, so they throw themselves into spaces that they're not equipped to handle.
That's right.
So I know at certain times I can't make Teresa laugh, but I know who to call.
Wow.
And I know who to get in contact with to help them so that they can help her at that pace. That's good, Pastor.
That's excellent.
Now, there's another thing I need you to do, because there's someone else watching out there in our audience today, or they know someone that's watching, that they have gotten to a place of hopelessness and their life has stopped at the place of death. They have not moved on. They are still, and I know some people like this, they still look at the obituary every day. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that. But they go to the graveyard every day, and they haven't lived since their loved one died.
Yeah.
What would you say to them today?
Well, I would say pray, but also seek professional help. Our people, you can get Jesus and a therapist. For some reason, we have demonized. It's strange. My Caucasian counterparts, and they talk about going to therapy like we talk about
Going to the barbershop.
Blowing your nose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
right.
proudly. I'm going to therapy.
Right.
We, especially men, we have issues. We don't want to see counselors. We don't want to do anything. So I think at a certain point, I mean, they say anything over 2 weeks consecutively is depression. Anything before that may be sadness or melancholy. But if something lasts 2 weeks or longer, that's depression. You got low grade, you got chronic. So I think what happens is, if I find myself in the same place 3 months, then that's dangerous. If you find yourself trying to fill that void with other things, that's dangerous. For me, my mom came back to me once in a vision, and people think I'm crazy, but it's the truth. And literally sat on my bed and was like, "This is not how I raised you."
That's right.
It's like the last thing that my mom said to me as she was dying, she told my cousin Reginald, "Tell him to just do one thing for me. Don't ever stop preaching." That was the last thing she said to me. And the last thing she said to me on Christmas of 15 was, "Stay in your purpose." It didn't make sense to me, because I thought because she was beautiful and she looked so like an angel. I didn't know that was going to be my last conversation, time seeing her. But for my mom to pass and my life stops, for me, became an affront to who she was.
Yes.
This woman had 3 kids as a teenager. She was pregnant at 13, kicked out of church, kicked out of school, all kinds of unhealthy stuff she went through. But in spite of that, graduated valedictorian from Dudley Hughes, the pregnant girls' schools in Macon, Georgia, Fort Valley State. Excelled, succeeded in spite of mass trauma.
Yes. Yeah.
And I am her legacy. And everything that she experienced, she taught me, and I just stopped.
Wow.
If I did that and she was alive, that would kill her.
Yep.
Right. Right.
So, but I couldn't really see it at the time. So how did she move when her mom died? It's not the first person. I'm not the first person lost. I'm not diminishing it. She lost a mom and a dad months apart.
Wow.
Within a year, her mother and her father passed. Wow. She's buried 3 brothers. So when I looked at that, she's gone through a nasty divorce. She buried a child, her baby, and yet still find time to pour into me, bearing a baby. Mom not supposed to bear a baby,
not.
But yet she overcame. It did, and so so listening to that strength, man, listen, I'm Verlene's son. I look at everything she went through from 12, 13 on.
It give you something else,
I'm broken, I'm hurt, but what do I need to do to honor her life, man? Because this is not, she didn't raise me to do this. She didn't raise me to stay stuck for months at a time, not do. That's not, because she wouldn't have done it. She got up and took care of all of us.
That's right.
She made sure we were, wanted us to get through school, did whatever she had to do in spite of gross mistreatment, gross abuse. She made it, she survived. So for me, she was a lioness. You know what I mean? So to me, some of that is in me. So it helps me to realize, okay, I want to honor her memory, but I want to realize who I am. And because I'm her child, because she raised me and taught me when she probably should have aborted me based upon everything she was going through, she probably should have. Knowing what I know now, she probably, from a society perspective,
that's real.
She didn't. She didn't. She endured. And because she did that, I can take everything she left me because she's still teaching me from the grave. And I think so getting therapy, praying, understanding who she is, memorializing her life, owning those bad moments, those rough moments, and realize that I will never get over those moments. I'm going to probably be sad, have moments of sadness for the rest of my life. And that's good.
And that's fine.
That's part of the process
That's
now.
part of the process.
It's like, it's luggage I'm not going to get rid of.
That's right.
It's a mold.
That's right.
It's a scar. It's going to be with me always. And it's good. It's a stretch mark to the mother who has a child. That stretch mark is just a mark of love. That's all it is. She wants to get rid of it, put cream on it. That's all, a lot of men, put that stretch mark and it turns them off. Listen, she had a baby for you. Listen, you put that mark there. So you own it. Stop trying to get rid of it. Yeah, you put it there. That's love. She did it. Love. So for me, I'm trying to, and it's been helping. I have those moments, birthdays, Christmas, but it helps me to live because I want to just get in that cash. When they close that, we close that, I want to get in there and crawl up there with her. I'm not gonna lie. Forget husband, pastor, whatever. I had all kinds of stuff. When that casket closed, I wanted to jump in that casket with her. But now I realize that's just grief is the price that I pay for love.
Well, Pastor, thank you so much for joining us for the first episode of Season 4 of Sound Mind. Teresa and I hope for this Mother's Day holiday that's coming back. We'll be bringing you back on Sound Mind. Thank you for what you've given us and given us the ability to have this platform to talk about not just Jesus, but also therapy. And we appreciate you, sir.
Well, thank you for being wounded healers. And as you go, you find healing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what lepers is. As they went, they were healed.
Watch your voice. Watch your voice.
So just keep on going. And every happy Mother's Day. And those who's difficult, if it's difficult for you, I understand, I own it, but you're going to live. And that's more life for you. Endure it, feel it, embrace it, but that's something beyond that.
That's good. That's good. Well, family, thank you so much for joining us today for Season 4, Episode 1 of Sound Mind. Listen, if you know someone needed to hear this today, tag them, send it, text it, tweet it, however, get this information to them. It's going to be life-changing. We will see you back next week at the same time. But until then, remember that grief is the price we pay for love. So if you love big, it's not a crazy thing that you may have a lot of grief, but I promise you, it's just a stretch mark. It comes with the territory. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep a sound mind.